What's up, and welcome to Nacho's Cafe. This is your boy Will, aka Nacho, and today is Talk About It Tuesday, where me and a guest will sit and talk about it, whatever it is, and that's what we'll be talking about. You ready? I have a very special guest that not only do I know him through mutual sources, but I've got a chance to work with him on things that have yet been out, so just stay tuned. And he is a independent film maker. He writes, he produces, he directs. He lives on the East Coast, so this is even more of a privilege because I'm on the West Side and he's on the East Side. So of course our times are different, which is awesome for him to do this with me. But we met through a mutual friend and basically dived into not only into the writing skills that help improve myself, but be able to get some light into the world that he comes from and really kind of challenge me in a way. So he has a big special part in my life just to help challenging me to see things in a different way when it comes to writing, not just poetry, not just script writing, but just in a way to push yourself to beyond a limit, because in reality there is no limits unless you put them on yourself. And this guy has been a part of at least 11 films, independent films that has been, produced and still being worked on. And he has a lot more on the list that's coming. So it's never a dull moment. And he's actually taken the time on around this busy quarantine time. I had to laugh at that. But, to do this interview and discussion on independent film, the world of it. And he is known by Zay Rodriguez, his real name, Jose, but he goes by Zay. And I kind of put my own kind of meaning to he Jose. So I was like, oh, Zay Rodriguez. Oh, I get it. I make my own little meaning for why he goes by Zay, but he probably has his own way. We always ask that too. But no further ado, I would like to introduce not only the independent filmmaker, I call it maker because writing, producing, directing, and actor all falls underneath that, and my friend Zay Rodriguez. So say hi, Zay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Will, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this podcast. Sorry for the little commentary in the background. Caught me while I'm eating dinner. I'm pretty sure you can edit this later.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, it's a pleasure to be on your podcast. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have, and taking it from there, man.
Thank you.
The problem is that people need to listen. People
Yeah.
want someone to listen to
Yeah.
them, because everybody's like, everybody's just wanting to speak, but are you really listening to anything I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
bottom line is communication is pivotal. It should be priority. I always say, without the communication part, if you're not open to speaking with transparency and honesty about
Uh-huh.
any topic, then for one, you shouldn't even be talking about it. Because if you're just going to use filter and manipulation, to me, that's not really engaging in anything.
That's
That's
not
not
engaging at all.
at all. So that's not really contributing to anything. But that's just me.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, and that's okay.
I agree 100% with you as well. I know
Well, at
that
least you agree.
at least I'm here with you on that one because I think we speak the same language. That's why kind of like me, you kind of just spark at just
Yeah.
speaking and diving into a whole nother mental journey on stuff. And so,
Yeah.
and that takes for one who has patience, that takes for one who not only knows how to communicate, but also listens to the communication being done as well. Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Yeah. And you can try to understand. You can
Yeah,
try to communicate, but sometimes I always say, if you can tell me
yeah,
what you want to say,
yeah,
but that the communication part is just a whole. But there's just a whole different set of layers See, I'm over here
Mhm.
stumbling over my words.
That's all right.
Uh,
Take your time.
there's just a whole bunch of layers that you have to just open up
Hmm.
to, to get to that level of transparency. And again, what's I rather, tell the truth and just be open. And if you want to judge me, that's your issue.
Yeah, that's your
Um,
business.
that's your business, and if you want to think of me as whatever you want to think of me as, go right ahead. I mean,
Right.
you're allowed. You are allowed to do so. You're your own person. But it doesn't really bother me. It's just a simple fact that, who cares? Who
Right.
cares what people may think? Who
Right.
cares what people, what I think? Or who cares what you think? It's, get the job done.
Yeah.
Do your job as a human being, communicate. 'Cause that's why, the man upstairs gave you a mouth.
Hello.
He gave you a mouth to do other things, in which, that's a whole different rant. But just, he gave you a voice, and
Yeah.
it's for you to voice your opinions, your concerns, your feelings,
Yeah.
what your thoughts, because your
Yeah.
thoughts can't speak.
They cannot. Not until you bring them into action and speak them out into existence.
There you
That's what,
go.
yeah. Like words don't have meaning as people who do have meaning. I can say, hello, how you doing? And you can say, hello, how you doing? But we bring a different meaning by the way we, say it. And
Yeah.
so people create some type of meaning, some type of other layer there. Um, that's why I love writing. For me, I feel like when I'm having a hard time saying something, I just get a piece of paper and I start writing it, and then everything comes out just so much more clear. I don't know. I wish I could speak sometimes the way I write. Because sometimes I'm
Me too.
stumbling, like, well, what's that word? I don't know what that word is at the moment, but when I'm writing, like, it just flows through. And I
Right.
think I appreciate it. Like people like us that we're able to um write from an internal source, and I just, man,
Hmm.
I'm grateful for it. I'm working on the speaking, but I don't mind also reading what I'm saying or writing. That way, at least it comes out like, oh, where did you get it? Oh, I wrote that down. I didn't know how to respond right now. So can I get back with you on that
Yeah.
one?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was like, oh man, Will is asking me to be on this podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and back down. I'm not gonna sit there and say
Yeah.
no. This is a great opportunity, and it's like, I love having these conversations, but it's sometimes I'll be completely honest. I think no, I believe, yes, I believe that I have really a lack of, like, my communication is really ineffective to some extent, to some portion. We could I can have a conversation with you,
Hmm.
and you can understand me.
Yes.
That's one portion. Another portion is about a topic, for example, friendship or relationship or uh, work. I may have some ideas, or I can be talking to someone and they really don't understand
Yeah.
my nature. And in my nature, you know is it's very straightforward.
Hmm.
It can come off sarcastic, and a lot of people see that as kind of like, oh, wait a minute, you're mean, or
Yeah.
your lack of communication, your communication skills are not that effective. So I mean, we're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
Who's not?
Yeah.
um but yeah, man, it's just, I was just like thinking, I'm like, oh man, like, I said yes. I said yes to him. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna back down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna zoom in all the confidence, and hopefully I don't, stumble up, across my words, in
And
which
even if you do, I love it. I rather us be natural versus being some kind of the camera's on, but it's not on like making a production, a movie. Like, yeah, okay, cut, because that was, let's reiterate. It's nice to see the rawness of an individual because
Yeah.
that shows the realness of that individual. And
Yeah.
and even my time in doing this, my podcasting, this is my favorite. Actually, the Talk About It Tuesday is what I call it on Tuesdays, where I actually have another person on here where we and everybody. It's funny because everybody gets nervous. They all
Yeah.
tell me like, I'm nervous. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what you're gonna ask me. Or even if we do have a topic, they're like, I'm kind of nervous. And then when they're done, we're done. Like that actually went completely different than I thought it was. I was like, well, number one, I'm going to not do like a typical interview. We're going to have a conversation. I have
Yes.
questions that I'm going to ask, but if you answer them, I'm not going to ask them. And I don't want you to feel like it's not an outline. It is completely raw. It is completely natural. So however we're feeling, wherever we're vibing, that's where we're going to go. I want it to, it's natural for me. It's going to be organic. So, and I am very grateful that everybody who has done one with me, they are like, you make it so comforting. You make it like we're just having it. We're sitting outside, literally having some a coffee, just
Yeah.
chilling and not like, cause I don't want anyone to ever just feel pressured or feeling, uncomfortable. I'm all about creating a comfortable vibe because I myself am comfortable in my skin. So I'm only going to vibe that with people around me, even if it's virtual. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
right there with
vibe
you, brother.
that.
I'm right there with you, brother. So let's get this going. I don't know if I was answering any questions. I mean,
No,
this is my
you
first
dived into
time.
who you are, so that's good. We don't even have to. I don't have to cover that part now. It's like
All righty, cool.
um, but no, I'm very grateful for our mutual friend that how we met.
Yeah,
So because he told me about you when he knew about my writing skills,
yeah,
and I mean, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that, and so it's no coincidence that we met, and then to give you some of my own writing material, and then you were able to kind of see where I come from.
yeah.
And I mean, it's not over. I mean, there's a whole lot more stuff that we have to
Oh,
do.
well, I hope not. I hope not.
It's
I hope
far
it's not
far
over.
from over. Definitely want to do projects with you, and
Good.
finally got a chance to watch something, bro. I've been
Yeah,
like wanting to watch your stuff. So is it true? 11 films, man?
yeah.
Like
I think
done like, because I counted on your IMDb. I mean, yo, like that is, I'm sorry. I was doing like, I know you're my friend and all, but like still going on the website before this whole podcast, I was doing my stuff yesterday. I wrote my questions down and I counted and I'm like, wow, 11 films, bro. That is such an accomplishment, man. And over what,
Thank you.
let me see, I even wrote that down. I think it's like been, over 10 years or 10 years or something like that.
Yep, it's been over 10 years.
Yeah,
So, so, okay. So I would have to go back to like 1998. I don't know if I got this up there. No, probably not. Uh,
probably not.
anyway. Um, so okay, so it's 1998, and it's me, my sister, and some of our friends, and we were just kids. We were kids, and we had this old video cassette camcorder.
I remember
I'm not
those.
sure if you remember.
I still have one at my
Um,
mom's.
so, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I remember before we got our hands on that camera, we were watching a scary movie. And we were kids, of course. We were scared. I mean, to this day, there's certain things that still scare me, like this pandemic, for one.
Mhm.
Um, and we decided to film ourselves. And we did. It was so ridiculous. We had each scene be played out in one room. So the bedroom was in one room, the bathroom was in one room, an invisible bathroom, an invisible bedroom, the backyard, the kitchen, a scary house. I mean, if you name it, I think we had it all.
Yeah.
So after that, we reviewed it on the TV, and we were like, "Oh shit! Oh, excuse my French, but
No, you're good. You're good. This
uh,
is no filter here, okay?
Okay, good, good. Because yeah, I ain't know you might have to beat this. Um, so we just looked at ourselves, and I really enjoyed what I saw, and just enjoy watching it was one thing, but making it was so much fun. So after that, you know, the next one came, the next one came, the next one came. I didn't really start getting serious though, I'll be completely honest, until 2011. That's when I did my first long short film, Lover's Lane,
Uh-huh.
and that didn't have a script.
Oh, it's
Uh,
the improv.
and yeah, it was all improv. I had an amazing group of people that are very talented, and to this day, they're close friends to me. And we had a great time. We had a premiere that what you call it premiered. I believe it was August 5th, 2011, in Philly, and we all felt like superstars. Like if this was Hollywood, this was it. We made it. That's how it felt, and
Yeah.
it was an accomplishment, well deserved, and well earned for everyone on that project. After that was Arisen.
Oh
That was
yeah.
that was yeah that we started that film uh, at the end of 2013, and it lasted about 4 to 5 months. We were shooting during the winter time, uh, and we got done March of 2014. Then that film got to a distributor in New York,
Uh-huh.
uh, and it was there for over a year, being in post. Then we got it back out to Philly to premiere it in August of 2015, and that also was an amazing premiere. I didn't expect to see a whole lot of people there, and when I mean a whole lot of people, I'm not talking about 200, 300 people.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about 60 plus, because they did. It was cast and their friends,
Yeah, yeah.
and man, it was just an amazing time. After that, I worked on a little project called I Saw, which has been in post production hell for years now, waiting for it to be released.
Yeah.
Uh, then I also worked with uh, an individual. His name is Chase, on Defarious. Defarious, it's a very short film that he had written, he had directed, produced, marketed. He even had a premiere in New York. I only had a little involvement on that project, uh, pretty much being like a creative writer. I helped him kind of like uh, put focus on the story a little bit, and I wasn't on set. I
Yeah,
wasn't on
yeah.
set. I didn't go to the premiere, but he gave me credit, which it's awesome. It's always welcoming. After that, I went to film Arisen 2. Arisen 2 also, that's a feature. That's a feature film. Arisen and Arisen 2 are feature films. The rest are shorts.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that one was also, a couple months in production. It's clearly in post production. It's supposed to be released sometime this year,
Uh-huh.
but hopefully that we get to see that. If not, then it'll be sometime next year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I really decided for myself that I really wanted to try directing. And, I did write my own two shorts,
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected and Saturday the 14th, in which you saw.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Unexpected. That was a short film that was about maybe 4 days that we shot. It was 2 weekends.
Okay.
Uh, Great experience. I was nervous because this is my first time really directing.
Really?
Uh, yeah, it was really my first time in a director's chair. I didn't have a chair,
Of course.
but I had the chair in my mind, in my
Yeah,
in
right.
my mindset. Yeah, and yeah, man, it was an awesome experience. It was so much fun. There were certain limits that pushed me to the limit.
Yeah.
After that was done, then it was like back to back. Like it was like summer of fun, and this was all last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected was first. It was around May. Then Saturday came right after, so it was like I would say May to June was unexpected. Saturday 14 was like July to August. In between, I had a little another short film that I was in, uh, and then after that, yeah, man, it was just writing constantly, waiting for other projects to get in the works. I was just my name was attached to another film that was really recently released. It's called The Flower People, which was really premiered with Saturday the 14th
Uh-huh.
this past March. So I would say my IMDb does say 11.
Yeah.
I would say that I've worked probably in like 6 or 7, and
Uh-huh.
the other ones are just in the works,
Gotcha.
which
Gotcha.
complete the 11, and
Because
hoping that it
I mean,
continues
I
to go
saw
higher.
more for the pre-production, which are not done yet, which are like for next
Yeah.
year and the year after. I know those are haven't been touched, but but so you just started doing the directing. So because I know I see writer, which I know that for sure,
Yes.
directing and then also producing. So did you help produce some more that I don't know of?
So all those projects I just mentioned,
Yeah.
I also help produce.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I'm like, why limit yourself to do one thing if you think you can do the other? Why don't you just get just do it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, um, and I think what I found, to be uh, my strong suit, it is directing because I tell you, there's a time and a place for everything.
There
And
is.
when I'm on director mode, I'm boss.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
when I say, listen, schedules are out, we got to be here at this time. There's no goofing around. Listen, if we get there late, it's time to work.
Yeah.
No, not goofing, not taking a chill pill, because we were just taking the chill pill coming over to the set.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we should take another chill pill. We have to set up, and I like to work with a small crew.
Yeah.
I've worked on bigger crews uh, in Arisen, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. But I think it's better for me, at least, to have a small crew, and where people have their own separate jobs, they
Yeah.
know what they're doing, and we can delegate uh, more efficiently than to having like a room of like 10 or 20 people.
Yeah.
Because then you have to it's like babysitting. You have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
tell the light person, then you have to go to the writer, then you have to go to the sound engineer, or you have to go to the director and to the staff. I mean, to the cast. It's just a whole mess.
Yeah.
So for all those filmmakers out there, you may not agree with me, but at the end of the day, a smaller crew is it's much more efficient
Controllable. Yeah.
and more controlled. Yes.
Cause man, you lose one guy with all of like a bigger mass, and you don't like. I feel like everyone's position and job is so important to this production, and if the more you
Oh
have,
yeah.
the more responsibilities you have, and if that person doesn't show up, you don't have a project to work on that day. And so having
Yeah.
it smaller, like you said, I personally and only have had a very small experience of that of my own. I didn't even have any lighting. It's a team, especially of a good formidable size.
Right.
It means so much because like I dived in a little bit of trying to do that, and a lot of my friends have seen me. They say that they see me being a producer because of just the things that I do. Because I tried doing a project a long time ago. It went left, but I don't regret the experience, and the people that were on it believed the message of it. And why my first project had a lot of people. I don't know why. It was more actors.
Yeah.
I had a lot of actors on there because of the script that I wrote. Um, had a lot of characters, but all these characters represented a very important personality, and it was nervous for my first time having them all meeting at a table because I remember that was the only thing that I probably ever scheduled. And so when hearing you speaking on schedule, like that would have helped a lot if I did that but it's my
Yeah.
first time. I had nobody who told me how to do this. I had no examples. I just dived in head first and told all the actors that I gathered, and they believed in it. So no money was being made. It was literally just believing on the message itself. And so we all met
Yeah.
at TGIF Fridays. And I remember when I stood up at the end of the table to kind of talk about the project. Woo! When I looked down, I was like looking at all those people. I felt like this small. I was just like, I
Yeah.
started talking to him. I thank you, and good God, what's going on? What did you just get yourself into? Like, who are these? Like, it was a big anxiety like hit me at that moment. Luckily, I finished that night able to continue what I was talking about of the whole film and all that. But yeah, just having a team with everybody that has a job and small, at least you could depend on it, because I was editing it. And I remember seeing pictures of you editing your stuff, editing it, making sure the sound was right. I was holding the camera. I was making sure this wasn't done. I did the photography, editing the pictures. So it was a production, doing it all by myself. I wrote the script. I, did this. I did everything. It was hard. So one of my hardest things that I learned in life when it comes to a production, how important it is to have a team, because you cannot do it all by yourself, because you'll never see it done. And when you're doing it by yourself, you could do so much, if it's a you project, yeah, you can get it done. But like, if it's a production, I swear it's a lot to it. And man, a team helps a lot. And I feel like, at the time when I was doing that, location is everything. I had the perfect location where I had people who I was able to find. Moved to Arizona, nobody. And then here in San Diego, it's tough too. So it's like, location is everything. The people is everything. And man, I applaud you, man. And I'm gonna move to Philly.
Well, man, well, brother, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to fly by here. You're more than welcome to be a part of my film, or to be on any set that I'm in. You're more than welcome, brother.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really good to hear your experience and to see it. And I mean, hey, even when you asked me to do my little bit of writing for you, it's still much, because I know I have
I'll
little.
tell you this much. I'll tell you this much, man. You're a better writer than I am, and I hold that, what you call it, with the utmost respect,
Thank you.
because it's one of those things, man. It's like, man, this guy, what is he really? First of all, where is he at that he's getting all this creative, uh, uh, ideas from? And this guy, you really have this way of writing, and of course, every writer is different. Everybody has their own form, in their own style, but it's really, it's captivating because it gets you hooked
Uh-huh.
from beginning to end. So I know, Inequitable Minds,
Oof, yeah, I
that
was just
really
talking
got,
about that yesterday.
yeah, that got to me. It's just like, there was no movie, but I felt
Yeah,
like in my mind there was a movie playing, and I was watching it
yeah,
while reading it. So that's
yeah.
it's a powerful, you have a powerful way of writing. And the same thing goes with Uprising. From the first episode to the last episode that you sent out to me, I can see how it's gonna, how I would want it to play out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's very powerful. Me, I just write with whatever it is that I'm feeling. I
yeah.
may be thinking of, oh man, today I saw Friday the 13th. That's how I got Saturday
That,
the 14th, right?
but that's brilliant. I'm sorry, when you did that, I mean, that's common. Like, I was like, that makes sense. Like, why not? What happened on the 14th though? I want to know what happened on Saturday. Does everything happen on the 13th? Come on.
Yeah. Somebody else was saying like your sequel should be Sunday the 15th, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, if
Mm.
it was called Sunday the 15th, yeah.
Then it would
I'm
be a
like,
then it would be like a necessary parody. Like, it's like, okay, and the
yeah,
18th and 19th, okay, but
yeah. Yeah, because I was like, okay, it's gonna run its course one day. I mean, you start
Yeah.
at Saturday, then you're gonna end up in the following. You're gonna end up on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like, let me just keep it as Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saturday the 14th. I'm working on. I actually wrote the script for the sequel, uh, and I'm just waiting for this quarantine to be over,
Yeah.
for when they tell us it's safe,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what I've been doing, man. I've just been quarantining and investing and working in my craft, and so far I've gotten three screenplays written,
That's
which I'm
awesome.
proud of. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for all this to blow over, and
Yeah.
hopefully we get to go back to set, which I miss, and I do miss my crew. And right now I'm just working on my fourth screenplay at the moment. I've gotten lazy. I ain't gonna, I'm gonna hold you to it, but it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. I just wanted, to write three screenplays back to back.
Yeah.
I just needed, my brain power. I needed to recharge.
Yeah. I will say this. I think you, because I would have never known how to do script writing. Like I would never know how to write that. And I know you know that from just Inequitable Minds, because
Yeah,
I'm so used to plays, you know? So the way I wrote that was like in play format, you know? And
yeah,
so I remember you were like, I forgot how long the pages were, but you were like 60 or some pages, like that's not long enough, you know? And then when I saw when your first one of the episodes for Uprising, and I was like, that's script writing. Okay. Now I know what he
yeah,
meant by what he said, because then he read it, then when you read the whole script, you're like, oh no, it's good. But then I realized like it's a total different format. That's a headache format, man. I'm just like,
it
but there's
is.
so much
Yeah,
detail, but you're not searching for what you're searching for. You need to know when it ends, you need to know when the scene is done, you need to know where the
yep,
camera's at. So I mean, every position that everything has, at least you know where to find it. So I get it. With the play is get on the play, get on stage and go
yep,
there, present yourself that way, blah, blah, blah. The most descriptive part is how is the stage lined up. And so I definitely learned that from you. So I was like, wow, this is a total different world. And I guess this is the world that I wanted to be a part of, because it's like I've always, since graduation, I've always been like, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm a movie director, producer, something like that. And in doing so, I would have never, ever thought that I really enjoyed writing like the way I do. Because like even hearing you with the whole directing and all the stuff that you've been doing, the scheduling, I'm stuck on that. Scheduling, the team and all that, like I don't know if I could have done that. Like it takes a reflection, because I know my passion, and I really dived into writing, um, and just really went there because I have an imagination. It's like, well, how am I gonna put that on screen or convey this if I don't write it and get detailed? And I fell in love with writing when I went to college and descriptive writing and all that. And I was like, oh my God, I really like this. And I mean, I've always did poetry, but writing in a different kind of way, story, script, movie, play, whatever. I really dived into writing in these different kind of ways, and it really opened my mind, and I found my niche. Like that was it. I was like, writing, man, my imagination now, I can all put it in here. So,
yeah,
and I don't believe in limits. So it's like, that's why I enjoyed, because you challenged me. I'll tell you this much. You challenged my mind, because all three projects that I've worked with you, I it really like it got me out of my comfort zone, because
yeah,
I could do a love movie. I can do a horror movie. Suspense, that's my challenge too. But you challenged me on a political, coming out the closet, drug addict.
yeah.
No, not drugs, and then immigrants. I'm like, good God, these is, and
Yeah, these are
then
big.
I'm like, okay, that's and then we had that conversation where it's Amy too. So that was a very fun project because it really pushed me out my comfort zone. And even Uprising is somewhat kind of out of my comfort zone, which is probably why it took so long to do.
Yeah,
But let's not talk about how many years. But anyway,
yeah, all right.
but the whole militant and just the whole mindset, I guess, because that's not mine. Is like I'm fantasy. I like fantasy. Real. I comedy so much. I could care less. I like comedy, but I rather do it in a different kind of way. drama, but like I like the challenge because like I'm gonna take it. I'm like, ooh, yes, this is different. This is not my comfort zone, and I like things that are out of my comfort zone because it challenged me to do my research,
Yeah.
and really dive into another world that I'm not used to. And I mean, yeah, uprising has been very fun. I'll tell you that much, and I like that's something that I want to continue doing with you. But
Well,
and
man, I'm always open. I'm always open. We just got to get it. Whenever
yeah,
you ready, I'm ready. Just let me know. We'll have these conversations. We'll have these meetings. Good thing that we have the internet.
yes,
Because if we didn't have it,
oof,
I
this would
mean,
be
we
something.
still have phone, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's not the same as a virtual,
yeah,
one-on-one conversation.
and we started off with the virtual.
Yeah, we
It
did.
was FaceTiming that Skype, a long time ago.
Yeah,
So I was like that's just like I only accept it that way. Really, I'm like I sometimes don't even like messaging you, and it's not like personal. It's like I'd rather be talking to you like this. Like
yeah,
it's I guess that's why I'm bad at texting people. I'm bad at phone calls. I mean that's the truth. I am like just text me. I don't really want to be on the phone. I don't want to hold this device. I don't want to. No, if I'm not looking at you, I don't want to be. I mean, it sounds rude. I don't want to hear you unless you're doing a podcast, something I can listen to that I don't have to
right.
conversate. But I rather I'm a visual person, so I like looking at somebody when I'm talking to you or whatnot. And I don't know.
Good,
That's
good.
just me.
And
Um,
that will be you, yes.
that is definitely me.
That is definitely you, absolutely.
So I have a question. Where did Dark Humor Entertainment come from? Is that a company in its own, or did you have any hand in it, or come up with the name, or
So, Dark Humor Entertainment is a separate company
okay?
that has some type of association with Junito Studios and St. Gilbert Studios. That's another separate company. We've all worked together.
Hmm.
We've all put our creative inputs into Unexpected, Saturday the 14th. Me and Dark Humor, we are actually buds from like high school.
Hmm.
And in reality, we all are.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah,
Gilberto, and
that's
Matthew,
the
we are
best though.
all, yeah, we're all, friends from back in the day. And this is something that we've always wanted to do. And we just started to get, real serious. I started getting real serious with um, filmmaking. Matthew started getting real serious with the business side of film. And Gilberto, he's just, our technical man, our lighting, our video, our audio. So it's, we are the three musketeers,
Hmm.
and we all have a role to play. I'm the creative visionary behind every project and every story. Matthew's behind the business aspects of every production, and then Gilbert, he's just the technical advisor, consultant, guy, the man, whatever it is you want to call him.
Yeah,
He's it. So that's where dark humor came from. Honestly speaking, it's its own separate thing. It's its own separate entity. So yeah, yeah, man.
that's cool. That's really cool. What have been some of your challenges you had to face in this independent film industry?
Scheduling.
Scheduling, I bet.
Scheduling, even when I was getting trained at work,
Yeah.
I was being, I don't want to say challenged. It was a challenge. Yeah, I guess I could say that. It was a challenge to schedule staff.
Hmm.
Same thing, it was a challenge for me to schedule cast members into production.
Hmm.
Everybody's availability. I'm not available this day or I'm available that day. And if it's just you by yourself, great. But if you're working with like 7 other people on one scene and 3 out of 10 are not available, then you have to reschedule. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. So I think that's the most challenging um, thing that I've ever faced, and it's still I'm facing today. It's just the scheduling. Right now, when we're done um, here, I gotta go to the unexpected group chat that I
Hmm.
created and ask them, listen, when are you guys available to have this meeting this weekend?
Yeah.
And if I'm already expecting, oh, I'm available this day or on this time or on the other day, or I'm not available.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really trying to manage timing and
Hmm.
scheduling. That's the only thing that really, for me, it's the challenge.
Yeah, I'd imagine that, especially depends on how many actors you have.
Yeah,
I think probably you know how your personal team is, but I think it's when the actors come on, it's like how scheduling on that and then making sure your people are available and so it's like the bigger the cast is, the more complicated it's possibly going to be, you know. Ugh. Um I kind of know this answer, but is horror the only genre you like to produce?
so horror is one of those genres that I grew up on.
Hmm.
It's where I found my passion in filmmaking and writing. I go back to the classic, days. I mean, to the good old days
Yeah.
where classic horror movies such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, um, they were they were they were a thing
Right,
back
right.
then. And I've grew up in horror. Uh, Horror today is not as horror as it was yesterday.
Mm-mm.
But I love I prefer doing horror, but I've also have gave myself the opportunity to branch out to other subgenres, like comedy,
Hmm.
uh, drama. I think I'm really strong with drama. I do love like Lifetime films, films that really have uh, meaning
Yeah.
that you can relate to. I mean, you can relate in horror too, depending on the narrative. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I definitely would say horror will be my number one
Hmm.
to go to, but I'm definitely open to doing like other subgenres. Yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. um I kind of know where it started, so which is awesome with you and your family with
yeah.
the that's awesome. Gosh, I remember those days. Um, could you explain to someone who wouldn't even have a clue what independent film is? How would you explain that to them? What independent film? Because I know I have my thoughts on it, but from someone who's actually doing it, like you,
Yeah.
how would you explain it to somebody who doesn't, familiar with it?
That doesn't have a clue,
Yeah.
that's interested in getting into the business. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work.
Hmm.
I would say it's a lot of work. It's a lot of it's very tedious and it's very competitive. If you come in with emotion, you're not going to last because this business is very cutthroat and you have to set your emotions aside. Not saying that you have not to be emotional,
Yeah.
not to be a sensitive guy or gal,
Yeah.
but you will need to come in and be mentally prepared
Yeah.
about what you want to do in this business because if you let in emotions run you, let's say for example, I've seen people that they get so emotional and they want to back out.
Mm.
They want to back out because I have a problem with this person or I don't like this and I don't like that. That's not the logic behind it. You may have reason to want to do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but logically you're there because you wanted to be there.
Hmm.
You got the opportunity, and that's what filmmaking is all about, opportunity. So if you're looking for an opportunity to go into filmmaking, leave your ego, leave your emotions out the door, and think about what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Because it's really about you make decisions with your mind.
Yeah.
So that's that. That's what I mean. That's what I would say. That's what I
Yeah.
would want it. That's what I would
Yeah.
have told myself. You know, back in the day. Hey, like get ready because
Yeah.
this is not going to be easy. It's going to be fun
Yeah.
because it's fun, but it's not going to be easy.
It's like your own though too, right? Like it's your own, like you create this world and you have everything to do with its creation. I feel like not a lot of heads are in the way. Am I right or wrong? You know how like in the bigger film industry, it's like so many heads, so many just everybody's in
Yeah,
it. you know?
That's because they get paid. So they get
True.
paid.
Yeah.
They get paid to shut up. That's how I see it. You're getting paid. If I'm getting paid
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars, I'm not gonna intervene.
Right.
I'm not gonna, if I'm an actor, I'm
Hmm.
not a director. I'm an
Yeah.
actor. If I'm a director, I am not the actor. I'm a
Right.
director.
Right.
In independent films, if you don't have a budget, everyone wants to be everything. Oh no, no, I was the writer, or you're the director. I want to be co-director.
Ugh.
Everything's gonna go through me. Like,
Yeah.
and I've also faced that. Like, I
Yeah.
have this vision in my head, and it's okay to throw suggestions.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't make them, but I
Yeah.
think that everyone needs to be put. Everyone needs to remember what part they're playing
Hmm.
and just stay in that lane, because it can be a lot of fractured egos that
Yeah.
go into production, and that can
Yeah.
actually harm your production.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the world you're making,
Yeah.
but you want to make sure that this world is safe to
Hmm.
work in.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. That's a lot right there, man. And the fact that you said that kind of it proved a point to not necessarily a point, but um something to share because like I kind of went through something similar to that just on one project that I was working on years ago, just trying it out. And
Yeah,
that alone, um, like when you have a vision, you have a vision. I'm open to suggestions, but don't try to dismantle what is being created. And what this one actor, because I told her, the actor is going, this character has to wear this. Like this is just the epitome. Let me explain why she has a fro. Why? Let me explain why she wears what she wears. It's just she symbolizes this vibe that I'm trying to portray. And the person that I asked, she was trying to change. Like, well, do I have to wear this? So I'm like, yeah, yeah, you do. But if you, then you know what? Then this role is not for you. Then I have another role for you, because if you're gonna come in chiming in on how this in particular, the main character is changing, then you're not gonna play her because you don't understand. She offers something. It's not like, even if I was getting paid. I mean, even if I was paying, like, I'm not paying you for your opinion. This is the character, and that's that. If you don't like it, then I'll find someone else to fill the shoes in better. Not to be mean, but being truthful.
yeah,
Because
man,
like,
you got it. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
no, just saying, like, it's not their dream as an actor. It's like, I'm the one who dreamt this. Not, if this is your dream, I'm not gonna rain on your parade. Let's bring this to life. But you are someone being asked to play this role. So why would you want to change it? You don't even know where it starts, where it begins. You don't, or where it ends. So you don't know what was put in. You don't know what was the vision behind it. So why would you want to try to change that to fit just your needs? It's not about you. It's about all of us. So. Ooh, but yeah, so it's good to hear from you that emotions, because a lot of people who have some type of emotional, well, I don't know what I'm looking like. Are you playing you on the screen, or are you playing this character on the screen? Answer me that. Exactly. So, when it comes into that, and that's something that um I hold. And that's why, when, let's say, for example, I'm your actor and you're telling me I'm going to do
Right.
whatever way you want me to be because this is your vision. I'm just an actor. I'm just like, oh, I'm here to, okay, am I delivering it at this pitch that you like? How much more emotion do you want for me to act? Like, because I want to at least deliver what you have in your mind, and it's bringing this to life, yeah. So I definitely agree about the emotion part. Keep that, keep that out. Keep that out. But yeah. um. So it sounds like, what role? Because I know you've done the writing, you've done the producing, and you've done the directing. Is there any out of those three roles that you enjoyed the most doing?
Uh, well, first of all, I know I just came downstairs,
Oh,
so you
okay, okay.
probably hear
I got you. I got you.
like yeah. Um, well, I would say that I enjoy a bit of everything.
That's
So
good.
directing, producing, acting, and also editing. I do a little editing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't prefer the editing though.
I
I
was gonna
really don't.
say, I would
Yeah, I really
agree.
don't. But there's a little bit of each thing that I find a kick out of, that I really do enjoy. Writing because it's creative. It's
Mm-hmm.
creating, putting all the ideas that's in my head into a computer. Uh, Producing because I'm producing something that I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Directing because it's kind of like I do kind of feel like I'm in charge in a way. So it's kind of like my competitive side. Uh, but it really it just is, there's a lot of things that I can learn also from each category, from the writing, from
Yeah.
the directing, from the producing, and that's only to improve, um, in those three fields. So there's just I can't sit there and say, oh, I just like acting, or I just like
Mm-hmm.
writing, because it all connects.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would agree just personally too, because I mean, it takes each and every one of them to appreciate the other. And
Yeah,
why not dive in a little bit to see what you like? And if you like all of them, I mean, at least you can bounce around. Like, oh, I got that covered. Don't worry about it. I got that. And I would have to agree on the editing part. Um, ugh, that's very tedious.
yeah,
It's whew, that's a tedious job, and I take my hat off to anybody. I also know, as someone who has that vision, you really got to trust somebody to do it and deliver it the way you see it, and that's why sometimes it's
yeah.
hard for me. Like, no, I'll edit it, but it's like someone else probably can offer a little something else that you didn't have. Maybe they have a little more experience, and just tell them your vision, and maybe they actually can deliver that. I'm probably better than what you thought. You know.
It's very
Uh,
true. Yeah.
So I do have, yeah. So tell me your reaction, your feeling, your experience when you found out your name was on IMDb. Like, what was going through your mind? Like, I mean, me personally, oh my God, I'm sorry, like when you discovered, like, you were on there, like, what was going through your mind? Like, how did that feel? All of that.
Well, um, it felt good. It felt good, and it was me that put
Yeah.
my name on there.
Yeah. Well, still,
it,
I
it was
mean,
me that put my name on.
yeah.
But it was just it felt good
Uh-huh.
to have my name there.
Yeah.
But it even felt greater when I had my picture and my bio and my work, because again, it's like a resume.
Yeah, it
You can
is.
only have your information
Uh-huh.
and maybe like your education and your skills and your abilities, right? But I had once I started to get more work, and more credibility,
Yeah.
uh, and pictures to go with the resume and the profile and all that good stuff. I just It was just amazing. The feeling was great.
Yeah. I mean, good job, man. Because I mean,
Thank you.
that's like, I mean, I may make a website for my podcast. I may just doing the podcast myself, but it's still an accomplishment. You know what I mean? And then to look back on all that you've done, even if you're updating it all the time, and all that, it's still a reward. Like, it's something to see and look back on. Wow, I did that. Like, I totally forgot about that. Or when you log back in to add more information, it's like, it's just a great reminder that you have your vision, and now you're living it. You know what I mean? And that's still inspiring for so many people who strive to do exactly what you're doing, if not less or more. So
Yeah, man. Thank you.
kudos, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Out of all of the films that you have produced, that have produced, whether you're acting, writing, or whatnot, what are your top favorite three out of all of them? What are your top three favorites that you worked on?
And I can only pick three.
Yes.
Okay. At the very bottom,
Okay.
it'll be Saturday the 14th,
Okay.
because that movie was just made for shits and giggles.
Got you. Got you.
And No way, shape, or form I was thinking this was going to get a premiere. Then it will be unexpected.
Yeah.
And then the very top,
Uh-huh.
it has to be Arisen. Because that's my baby. It was the very first feature film that I worked on. I
Yeah.
got to meet a whole bunch of people that,
Yeah.
they molded me
Yeah.
in a way to be part of, you know, to be even more aware of what filmmaking is all about. So those will be my three in
Awesome.
that order.
That's awesome. Do you have any questions or anything else that you would like to add, and or questions you have for me?
Do I have any questions for you? Just one.
Yeah.
When are we going to get back to writing?
Uh,
That's
tomorrow.
all.
Let's
All
definitely.
right, man.
I definitely want to dive more in some projects and what else you have, because I know you've dabbled in some stuff that you had ideas of, even besides Uprising, and because you were talking about drama and lifetime stuff, and I remember you bringing up an idea, and I said I'm down to write some. I feel like that would probably be even easier for me to write, because I can relate to it, and also I feel like those are more life wise, and I can definitely like dabble into, because I'm all about mental. I'm a mental person. So when it dives into mentality of emotions, challenges and stuff like that, I can definitely dive into that. But yeah, not putting all that out there for people's business. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. I think time is definitely allowed itself to be open, regardless of when work starts again. But I'm ready. I'm ready, and thank you for
Okay.
thinking about me.
All right. Of course, man. Anytime. You know what you call it. You're my guy. So if I need to take a break from writing, I can count on the writer. So I got a writer at San Diego.
That's right. Thank you so much for being my guest today on my show, Zay. And this will not be the last time I'll probably have you on. We'll talk about something else. So thank you.
No problem. No, well, thank you for having me once again. It was a pleasure chatting with you, letting catching up, talking about my films and you know just catching up in general, man. And I feel like you're doing an awesome job
Thank you.
with this podcast. If you ever need anyone else, if you want to interview anybody else in for your podcast, let me know. I know a lot of people who would
Okay.
be interested to hop on with you.
Yeah, perfect. I am definitely taking that offer. So whenever you're ready to pitch me some names, I got you. We'll schedule it and then let's go. Yeah,
and that completes today's Talk About It Tuesday episode on Nacho's Cafe. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next Tuesday for the next TBIT episode. And remember, when you run into a mental wall of personal perspective,